It's sentencing day for Sean Diddy Combs in New York City.
Yeah, big day. He was convicted in July, you remember, on 2 counts of transportation for prostitution. Briella Tomasetti joins us live from outside the courthouse in Lower Manhattan. Good morning to you.
Yeah, Jen and Bob, good morning to both of you. And I said to our anchors in New York that it almost feels like deja vu and that we're at this trial all over again. The sentencing hearing starts at 10 o'clock this morning here on the East Coast, but the court every single day throughout the duration of the trial started at 9 o'clock, and we are starting to see those same key players arrive. You have the defense lawyers, prosecutors, even some high-profile figures like Gloria Allred, Diddy's family members. So that is all getting into place as we speak. But Diddy made that final plea for leniency yesterday in a letter submitted to the federal judge, Arun Subramanian, writing that he was humbled by the case against him and promised to never commit a crime again. And his fate now sits in that very same judge's hands, who will have to make a sentencing decision at some point today after that hearing begins. But I want to get for a moment to that 4-page letter, because it is the first time that Diddy made any substantial statement about his case. And here are some key elements that we picked up. In one part, Diddy writes, "In my life, I have made many mistakes, but I am no longer running from them. I am so sorry for the hurt that I caused, but I understand that the mere words 'I'm sorry' will never be good enough, as these words alone cannot erase the pain from the past." In another, he says, "I am now sober for the first time in 25 years. I have been trying my best to deal with my drug abuse and anger issues and take accountability, as well as positive steps towards healing. And I ask you for mercy today, not only for my sake, but for the sake of my children." Diddy's lawyers have said that he should be sentenced to no more than 14 months in prison with credit for good behavior and time served. That would indicate they want him to walk free right now. The judge rejected a last-ditch effort to overturn his conviction on 2 prostitution-related charges. Diddy's legal team argues that he was an amateur pornographer not engaging in prostitution, and that the guilty verdict violates his First Amendment rights. Prosecutors submitted their sentencing recommendations earlier this week. They want Diddy to serve at least 11 years in prison, a significant increase from their initial request of 4 to 5 years. In a 161-page memorandum, they detailed that Diddy is unrepentant and insisted that the punishment for his crimes of conviction must take into account the manner in which he committed them. Meantime, Cassie Ventura, Diddy's ex-girlfriend and the star witness at his federal trial, pleaded the judge to consider the many lives that he's upended with his abuse and control. She and another alleged victim, Mia, who testified under a pseudonym, are expected to address the court today. It's still unclear if Jane, who also testified anonymously, will share any words with the court. Former prosecutor Seth Zuckerman weighed in on the case last night on our 10 o'clock newscast.
And they've recommended 70 months to 87 months, which if you calculate it is a little under 6 years to a little bit over 7 years as a time frame. And I have a feeling the judge is going to tether to the Department of Probation recommendation. And I would guess somewhere in the 5-year range is where the judge is going to come down on this.
And before any sentencing happens here in Lower Manhattan, Diddy will get his opportunity to speak in court, and that's something he didn't do throughout the trial. It is unclear exactly what he's going to say, but it'll likely be along the lines of what was mentioned in his letter, that he is a changed man. He referenced his family, and he asked for forgiveness. It's unclear if the judge, if that will in fact influence his decision, but we know in the past he tended to side with the prosecution because he cited Diddy's history of violence, and he also denied to grant bail not once but twice in this situation. It could very well be a long day at court, because we're not only going to hear from Diddy, we're going to hear from Cassie, from other accusers, and Diddy's lawyers plan to show a 15-minute long sentencing video. So this could very well go out through the afternoon, throughout the evening possibly, until we hear something from the judge. But that's the latest live here in Lower Manhattan. Bob and Jen, back to you.
Yeah, it all depends on who is going to be permitted to speak today. All right, Briella, we appreciate your report there in Lower Manhattan. Things getting underway there at 7 o'clock our time. And, of course, we'll be following this throughout the morning.